Big Drive Energy Wednesday. We haven't had a pod in about 10 days. I feel like I haven't talked to you in 10 days. Ready to get into it, get into life, get into golf. We're going to talk about Min Woo Lee's maiden voyage victory on the PGA Tour, one of the most popular golfers outside of the specific golf world. Finally gets a win. Alejandro Tosti is an asshole. We're going to talk about him. Golf tattoos. We have seen some interesting posts from Zaire Golf. We'll talk about if we would ever get golf tattoos. And I've got one, I think, that I've also seen circulating on the internet that I'm ready to put on my body if the case happens and if the situation comes about for me. L.A.B Golf center shafted driver, WTF. That is not WTF Wednesday, but it probably should be. Also, we're going to give you guys some picks for the Valero, and we have Mulligan Monday and WTF Wednesday. All right, let's tee it up. Big Drive Energy Wednesday edition. We are one Wednesday away from our Masters preview episode. I can't believe April's already here. April Fool's was yesterday, so we couldn't really do an April Fool's episode. But let's get into our past week. How was your week? And did you pull off any April Fool's jokes? Because I tried to pull one off on our mom, and you fucking ruined it. So I'm going to be mad at you for that for at least another year. But our mom used to get us all the time with April Fool's jokes when we were kids. I can't remember specifically. You probably have some more specific details, but I just remember being in a constant state of panic on April 1st and forgetting it was April 1st.
Well, there definitely was some good jokes out there. See, the problem was with the joke that you were trying to pull on mom was I was afraid it was going to be something serious that was going to like fuck her up because you have been known to do that. You were just making a joke that the Rockies were moving to Nashville, which is harmless and almost borderline necessary at this point. So it's really not even that much of a joke. But I remember when we were kids, you fucking pretended like you fell down the stairs and were like wailing in pain, like you broke your arm. And mom starts legit crying. And you're just like, April Fools. And I'm like, holy fuck, this family's in turmoil because Spencer's laying on the ground pretending like he broke his arm. So you're just the most like diabolical. The more I think about you as a child, just pisses me off. Like you were always the kid that would hit me and then I'd hit you back. And then you'd be like, Mommy just hit me. And then you were the kid that fucking every corner I came around in the house, you're scaring the fuck out of me. Like I lived my childhood in fear because of you. So I think you deserve some pretty good April Fool's jokes. Like I did not personally pull any off, and it was actually pretty funny because I told you I was going to try to get Missy, my girlfriend, with one like that her car broke down or some shit because I was using her car yesterday. And I told her that I was going to get, I told her after the fact because I had forgotten about it because we were just doing a bunch of shit. But I was like, I was going to get you. And she's like, you made the right choice not to. And I'm like, what do you She's like, I don't do jokes. I was like, I should put your fucking face on a t-shirt that just says, I don't do jokes on it. I'm like, what a fucking stick in the mud you are. So honestly, glad that I didn't because I don't need that shit on my plate right now too. So, but other than that, I did not pull any off. Did you get your wife with anything? Who else did you get?
No, I actually didn't pull any off, any good ones at least. I tried to get mom, and that was pretty much it. And I actually didn't get got on Twitter.
Do you remember? Oh, yeah, we'll get into that because I got a few times as well. Do you remember any other ones you did as a kid or any other? Did mom say we were moving one time? Like, I think we got some pretty fucked up ones.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say is that now that you bring it up, it does kind of ring a bell that she said we were moving as kids, and we started, I think, crying. I wouldn't be surprised. And then she just April Fool's us. I want to say one time she told us there was no school that day too, and like sleep in. And then she was like, "I'm just kidding. Get the fuck up. Eat your breakfast. You got to go to school." I'm almost
She
positive she got us on a couple of accounts. She was just
she
circling that date on the calendar, ready for some fuckery.
Yeah, she's diabolical. Like the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. It's kind of actually funny to think about. I want to say one other time she told us we had to like sell our dirt bikes or something. Like she said some devastating shit to us as kids. It was actually pretty fucking funny.
Yeah, and that's why I'm really excited. You know, you talked about this scaring of being around the corner. Right now, my son thinks it's hilarious, but I can't wait until he's actually scared and I've just got him on fucking walking around on pins and needles all the time,
But don't
ready to get hopped
don't
at.
create me and Sawyer can share our childhood trauma together, but don't fucking scare the shit out of your son like that. He doesn't deserve that. It is fun scaring him right now though, because he just thinks it's fucking amazing. Like, can you imagine being so innocent that somebody like popping out? Because in theory, it should not be scary. Like, it's just surprising. But once you have the just gross images that you obtain over the years in your head from scary movies and shit, even worse shit you've seen in real life, then anything behind the corner seems to be that much scarier.
Yeah, I want to ask you a question really quick. Why do you look like a fucking cop? What's this story? What's going on here with this mustache and this fucking clean
Dude,
shaven chin?
you don't like my mustache? Like I
Like it.
mean,
I just asked you a question. Answer it.
well, so the problem is I like to grow the handlebars, but then the hairs on the sides get so long that I end up like twisting them and like pulling them out. I do have like a fixation with like pulling on my facial hair. I don't know what it is. It's probably like anxiety, just that I try to push down deep inside of me. And it comes out and like pulling random, like I pull my arm hair sometimes. I don't know. It's a weird deal. So I had to trim these
Well,
sides.
I do that as well. I pull my beard hairs out, but I never get them on the ones on my face. The only ones I ever pull out are ones like underneath here, mostly the white ones. But like if there's one that's like a little too long and I'm not near a razor and I can just shave it and trim it to the same length as the others, I'll just rip it out. But I can't do it on my face. Like to me, that hurts too bad to be able to pull. I'll do a little twist and shout on the mustache from time to time. But once I get to that point where I can do that, or I'm eating and like it just like trickles in there into my mouth, I immediately, I'll literally mid dinner go trim my mustache for a case like that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, for sure. And honestly, like these hairs on the outsides of my mouth don't really hurt to pull, but the ones like underneath my nose, those ones are the real serious ones. Like if I pull one of those, I'm definitely getting some tears out. Actually,
Do you
I
ever
think
pull
that's
the hairs inside your nose?
I was gonna say I think that's how they make people cry in the movies is they pull a hair inside their nose because it makes your eyes water. Um, but no, I actually just trimmed my nose hairs yesterday, and I'm definitely just I don't know what it is. I'm definitely getting older, but I don't even know if this is the case because I've had white nose hairs since I was like a teenager. Like I have a cluster of white nose hairs in my right nostril and it is the weirdest fucking thing. Like the inside of my nose looks like a nursing home. I don't really understand where it's almost like, you've seen people with like those spots, like they have one spot with like white hair on their head or whatever, like a gene mutation. I almost think I have that, but inside of my nose.
Yeah, I don't have that, but I do really enjoy pulling my nose hairs. Like that's a fun, it definitely makes me sneeze and it makes my eyes water for sure. But like when there's one in there and it's just like you can feel like you're, yeah, it's just fun. It
I did
makes my
not know
nose
this
feel
that
so
you
much more
actually
clear.
I
My
didn't
nose
even
is always so fucked that when I can pull a hair out of it, it makes it feel like I'm fucking unfucking it a little bit.
you're just removing any problems from your nose. I will say what is also crazy is if you know us personally or have seen us on video, we both have good sized noses. And my nostrils are so big that I can legit fit one of those little pairs of like makeup scissors inside of my nose and like clip my hairs that way. Like if I flare the nostrils out, I can fit a little scissors in there and it's like I'm gardening inside of my nose. But yeah, that shit makes me
Well, yeah, if
sneeze.
anybody wants to see how big my nostrils are, just fucking check our Twitter, our X account. Follow us on all the socials at Big Drive Energy, Big Drive Energy Golf on Instagram, and Big Drive Energy on TikTok. Shameless plug.
Yeah, that
But
was
yeah,
a
it's
very
my
good.
nose is on there. I'm looking like Squidward.
Yeah, you definitely not your best picture. I'm glad you glitched right at that moment so that you do actually look like Squidward. Oh, we both have exquisite noses. I appreciate that. I mean, if Spencer were to turn to the
Exquisite
side,
could mean over the top.
exquisite means like they belong in a museum of art because they're just fucking the biggest noses. It's like the Easter Island fucking what are they, statues or not statues, like carvings, where those rock things just have the fucking absolute beaks on them. And my nose also, like, I've never broken my nose before, but it's definitely crooked as fuck. Like, and when you notice it when you take a picture and then like the picture flips, because you don't really notice it in everyday life, like looking yourself in the mirror. But then if you take like a selfie and the reflection like flips you around, you're like, holy shit, that's my face. Like it just throws you for an absolute fucking loop. And I'm like, why is my nose like 30 degrees to the left? Like, or maybe it's to the right. I don't know. It's big enough to where it like impedes my vision at times for sure.
Yeah, there's nothing worse for me than seeing a fucking side shot of myself. That's absolute Sunday scaries on any time of the day.
Well, let's talk
yeah,
about
it's not good.
Let's talk about a little bit of our golf these last few weeks. You've played a few times. How you been hitting it? What's the story been? You got kicked off your range for wearing jeans, so you officially realized that you're
major
a member
L.
a country club and you cannot just roll out there in fucking sweatpants and or jeans or whatever and just think that nothing's gonna happen.
Yeah, well, so yes, I did get kicked off my own range. I was only there for 10 minutes, and that was the plan anyways. It was just kind of an in-between meetings. I was in the area type of scenario. So I was hitting range balls in a long sleeve t-shirt, my Bogey Boys t-shirt. Shout out Macklemore and Bogey Boys. Pretty dope. I think it's yours, but you got too big for it. So then you handed it down. I get a lot of your hand-me-downs on some of your old shit that you've grown out of. And so I was wearing that with some jeans, and I did wear my Puma golf shoes, for the record, my Slipstreams. So they look like tennis shoes, but they're actually golf shoes. So I was semi-prepared in case this range opportunity arose, and it did. So I took it, and then it was super awkward because I was also on a phone call with somebody else in my AirPod, and then I'm very awkward in general most of the time. And so I'm like panicking and I'm like frozen, and he's talking to me and I've got somebody talking in my ear, and I'm like, sorry. I'm like, oh, I'm leaving. I was like, I can leave. And so, yeah, I won't make that mistake again, but this kind of brings me to golf fashion in general. I sleep in my Pins and Aces joggers. They're shout out to Pins and Aces. One of the most comfortable joggers I've ever worn. The only gripe I have is the ankles are pretty tight, so they're kind of hard to put on. Like you got to do a little work to put them on. But once they're on, hands down, the most comfortable jogger out there. I sleep in them. They have a great little side zipper pocket that you can I put my can of Zins in. It doesn't like slip out and fall on the couch or do some weird shit. So overall, great jogger. And I wear those to sleep. And I could have worn those on the range that day and would have not got talking to, probably. They're kind of like that in-between waffle. But then as I'm leaving, like these are I wear nice jeans. I'm not saying I'm out there in some fucking, holy jeans that you'd see some 17-year-old wear nowadays with that show half my quadzillas out. But jeans nonetheless, I get the rules. The older guy next to me has got shorts on that are basically denim looking. They're golf shorts, but they look like denim. And I'm like, I was like looking at him. I'm like, what the fuck? What's the difference here? What's the problem? And he was probably going out to play. So I do understand it. It's just a very fine line. And we're all the time on the golf course. You know, half the people we checked in on a daily wore jeans. So that's kind of just how it was. But
Buds, I think your audio might be kind of coming in and out a little bit. Now he is completely frozen. Yes, I will agree with you on the I was gonna say leggings. They're not leggings, they're joggers, but they feel like leggings for men. Um, they definitely from time to time I feel like they look fine. It depends on how baggy they are. I've got like different sets of joggers. Like I've got some more like dressy joggers. I've got more like sweatpant joggers. But yeah, ultimately, like I don't have a problem with jeans on the driving range. But I really wish you would have just like big dicked him like my neighbor big dicked me a few weeks ago and just mouthed to him like I'm on a phone call. Like leave me alone. Don't talk to me. I'm on my phone. And honestly, kind of respect to him a little bit for coming over with your AirPods in. Because if that was one of us, we'd be like, oh, I'm absolutely not approaching this dude. I'm not going to bug him with his AirPods in. At that point, he could be wearing fucking a banana hammock and a tank top and cowboy boots, and I would just let him go for it. Like, if somebody's got their AirPods in, I'm not bugging them because I flat out cannot stand when somebody comes up to me and tries to talk to me when I have my AirPods in. I'm like, that is the universal sign for do not fucking try to talk to me right now. So I really wish you would have done that to him, but yeah, you learn your lesson on the driving range. You got to wear it. And would they call you out if you're wearing like black athletic shorts? Because I feel like I see high schoolers out on that range wearing like athletic shorts half the time, or even worse. Like I would almost rather see somebody wear athletic shorts than fucking cargo shorts. Like cargo shorts are the worst thing ever unless you're camping or fishing. Like you don't need 18 pockets all over your fucking shorts in order to like you probably got 6 different balls, you got tees, you got everything, but you don't need cargo shorts. Like I would much rather see athletic shorts on the driving range than cargo shorts.
yeah, I mean, I'm not a cargo shorts guy, so I'm not going to sit here and stand cargo shorts. But for the purpose of golf, I actually now am considering maybe wearing some cargo shorts because I don't carry a lot of balls in my pocket, but like I can have my phone in my pocket, I can have a couple balls, I can have tees, I can have my divot fixer all down hanging out by my thigh area instead of being up tucked in my ass or like really close to my hips because that sometimes fucks with me when I'm swinging the club. So
That is one thing I don't think we've discussed is like what it sounds like you have no preference on what you keep in your pockets because some people are super particular like oh I can only have 2 tees and a ball marker and this in my pocket. Like I'm the guy where I can have my cell phone in my pocket and my can of the preferred nicotine of the day, the flavor of the month in my pocket, and then I'll have a few tees, a divot fixer, a ball marker. That's kind of the extent of it. But there's some people that are like literally can't have anything in their pocket besides tees and a ball marker. It sounds like you have no problem with just having your pockets full of shit.
no, I do have a problem with having them full of shit, but I don't. If I had cargo shorts and it was down hanging out a little bit lower, I think I'd be able to stomach it. But when it's up tight and close to me, I'm not as superstitious as I am. I'm surprised this isn't an OCD, that this isn't in my wheelhouse. But I can never swing with if I have my phone on me, which we record a lot of content on the course, so we have our phones on us a fair amount. If I have my phone on me, it has to be in my back pocket. Like I could never swing with my phone in one of my front pockets. And usually my front pockets are just strictly 1 or 2 tees, depending upon the scenario, and my ball marker and a divot fixer if I think about it, or if I don't think about it, it's just a tee to fix my divots. So, and then my other pocket is empty. Like my can, my phone, generally, if I don't have it on me, like everything's in the cart. I love to just vomit materials into the cart right when I sit down in it and just clear my pockets of the waste.
Yeah, that is definitely one of those things that I love to do too. And it actually fucked me up. So I played 27 holes on Monday. which was a blast. I haven't been sore after golf in forever because my body's just very used to it. For as athletically or non-athletic as I look, my body is very accustomed to the golf swing, and I don't exert that much energy on the, like, I'm not swinging it fucking Kyle Berkshire style. And even if I am, it's really not that hard anyways. So generally speaking, I am not sore, but I think that 27 whole day, like my back was tight. I had kind of a twinge in my wrist. There's just a few things, and I feel completely fine now. So I was like, is this going to be like some sort of lingering thing? But I was actually like surprisingly physically like fine after 18. It was almost where I expected to play another 9 because we didn't have it planned to play 27, where there's 27 at this golf course and we'd already played 18, and there was nobody over on the other 9, and like nobody was outside and shit. So we were like, fuck it, we kind of hopped on there without going into the shop and telling anyone. So whatever. I don't need to pay that. I paid $82 to play a public golf course in March on a weekday. So I honestly feel like for $82 I should get 27 holes in fucking March in the Northeast. But anywho, I rode with one of my buddies out to the golf course. So I parked my car at one dude's house and he picked us up and took us from there. And I took my car keys out to lock my car. And then I put them in his car and I forgot about it. And then we were like on the golf course, and on the first tee, I was like, I can't find my keys. And the first tee is kind of far from the parking lot. And I'm like, they have to be in his car. So I was like, whatever. But then I couldn't stop thinking throughout the round. I'm like, what if my fucking car keys are gone? Like, what if they're laying on the ground in the parking lot somewhere, or somebody picked them up or some shit? And that honestly, like, was in the back of my head the entire round of golf. And it just kind of like bums you out. And it's like that anxiety that you forget about, and then it comes back to you and you're like, oh fuck, like what if my car keys are gone? So that had me fucked up. I actually hit the ball pretty good for the most part. I hit a lot of really good tee shots, hit quite a few like close irons, and just could not putt for shit. I mean, it is March in New Jersey, so that's kind of expected, but it's just so disappointing. Like when I was down in Tampa, the greens were so good and I was actually rolling it really well. Like I stepped over a lot of putts and felt like I had a good chance of making them. Yesterday, on Monday, I probably legitimately, and it was the same story when I was playing back in Colorado with you, I could not even get like an 8-footer to the hole. Like I had these uphill right edge 8-foot birdie putts. I left 3 of those directly short right in the heart of the hole. So I was just like kind of cashed in at that point. I think I was like 7 or 8 over par for the 27 holes. So it wasn't great by any means, but it could have been like legit even or under par if I would have actually made a few putts. So it was just one of those, and it was windy as fuck too. Holy shit, it was so windy. And I'm just making excuses at this point. That's kind of just golf for me. But yeah, my body has not been sore after golfing forever. So that was a new one.
The 27 got to you. I honestly can't think of anything I'd want to do less than play more than 18 holes in a single day. Like this bachelor party I'm going to in May, we're going to Vegas and playing 36 holes on Saturday. And I honestly can't fathom what I'm going to be like holes 27 through 36. 18 through 27, decent. But 27 through 36, I'm going to be a complete mess. Like I love golf and I'm getting the bug pretty bad right now. I'm constantly checking the weather and figuring out when I can go, with my schedule and daycare and all that, figure out when I can sneak out and just play 9 holes. And I've been into the walking lately. I've been walking Inverness a ton, just carry my bag, been meeting some new members, it's always a good time. These guys I played with the other day were a fucking riot. They were hilarious. But the one guy, the one guy, I don't know if you saw the tweet, they both had the electronic push carts. And the one guy dumped his push cart into the bunker. He was fucking driving around the right side of the bunker, and it just these have a little bit of their own like drive style and a mind of their own, and it just started fucking taking a hard right and dumped. And it's that bunker on 8, the par 3, that's like up. It's like a tall one. So it wasn't like it drove into it where like a mower would go in. This is full on. It flipped off of a 4-foot cliff on the top of the bunker and just dumped his whole bag into the sand. So it was pretty hilarious. But I have just enjoyed like getting out and once I get to 18 holes, I don't know if it's maybe I'll start when I start playing some more weekend golf. If that's the haps this summer, I'll feel a little differently where it's like, on the weekend, I am chilling, but I feel like weekdays, like when we played that 18er, I was like, fuck, I have so much to do. Once it was 18 was over. And I also feel like pretty out of it after I play 18 holes. I feel I'm not mentally there normally just in general, but after I play 18 holes of golf, like I don't want to do anything. I'd rather just go and sit on the couch and do fuck all the rest of the day. I'm not like, oh, let's go again.
No, I mean, I definitely get that. I think part of it is it's one of those where, like when you're doing cardio at the gym and you have this preset time in your mind, like I'm going to do this for 20 minutes. Then, you get to 10 minutes and you are halfway there, and then you're kind of like turning down a little bit. You're like, oh, I'm getting tired. But I feel like it's a mindset thing where if you're planning on going 30 minutes, then the first 20 seem like much easier. It's like a mind game that you play with yourself. So if you're preparing to play 27 or 36 holes in a day, I feel like your mentality is just different. You know what I mean? And I honestly kind of like it. Like if you're a better player, because if you start poorly, you have just more time to get it back, more time to make birdies, more time to like kind of right the ship, where 18 holes can go by pretty fast. Like if you have, a bad stretch of 3 to 4 holes, that can cook your entire 18 hole round. But if it's a collective 36 hole or 27 hole day, then you feel like you have time and you don't need to press in order to get it back. But yeah, 36 on a bachelor party.
That's where we're different though, is because when shit starts going wrong for me, I don't think about how many holes I have left to get it back. I think about how many more holes shit's going to go wrong and I'm going to go down the shitter. That's my mindset of like, if I make a couple bogeys in the first 3 or 4 holes, I'm like, fuck, I have 14 more holes that I am probably going to make bogey on at this point. That's where my mind goes immediately.
Yeah, that's fair. And that can definitely, at that point, you're like, I'd rather be anywhere but on the golf course. But that's the other thing too, is I was actually talking to the guys I was playing with on Monday about that. You are so classically the dude who will play golf, but they have so much other shit going on that I'm like, why are you even on the golf course? Like you're on your phone doing emails and meetings. And I understand you want to be able to do both. You want to be able to work and also golf. And, you don't just want to not golf, but it feels like there's times where I'm like, I feel like you'd be better served just at work right now than being on the course, because you're more worried about what's going on. And then you're hitting bad golf shots and then you're just not fun to be around. You're just a fucking poopy pants stick in the mud because you're worrying about this and this. And then I try to have a conversation with you because, we're like brothers and friends and shit. And I can't even do that because you can't fucking respond. You're on a phone call, you're sending an email. And I'm like, what are we even doing? Like, it feels like we're an innie and an outie out here, just fucking floating around doing our own thing that happen to be in the same golf cart. Like, it's just not, we're not connecting whatsoever. And I like to connect with you as a brother when we're playing golf.
That is actually a pretty hilarious comparison. Shout out Severance. I really enjoy that. All right. Speaking of innies and outies, I don't know where I'm going with this, but should we get into the part where we talk about professional golf and the PGA Tours past weekend? Or do you have something else you want to get to before we get to that?
Well, I just wanted to say, on top of all of that, this last 10 days, I've been e-signing and filing all this bullshit paperwork for this place we're buying in Denver. And we're very excited. Like, we're closing on Friday, fingers crossed, because that's a whole other bumblefuck. Like, who knows where the money's going, when it's going, who's signing what. There's a fucking, what are those, oh God, why am I spacing it? A notary is coming to our apartment at some point in the next 2 days. None of this is scheduled yet, but just the nightmare of trying to buy a property. Like, I yearn for the days of the 1700s where you just stumble upon land and you're like, this is mine now. Like, I don't need to inspect the fucking toilet seat. I don't need to sign a million, like, just the red tape around buying a property makes it almost like you don't want to do it. Like, I have to keep thinking it's good, like it's going to be over. It's going to be over. It's like we're going to eventually, I'm not going to have to deal with all this shit every fucking day, but I just look at my email every day and it's e-sign this, fucking save this, PDF this. And I'm just trying to make Missy's schedule because it's like the worst time of year for her to be doing this. And it just so happened that way. And then she's got a DMV appointment Friday morning. It's just a big clusterfuck. So I'm like, it honestly, it just takes up so much more of your time than it should only take, like in a vacuum, like 30 seconds to go and e-sign something, to read something, but it just lives rent free. Like you always feel like you're missing something. So I'm constantly like checking my email and like in the back of my head, I'm like, did I forget to sign this? And luckily I could just reach out to my realtor, Kelsey. Shout out Kelsey Martinez. She is awesome if you need a realtor in the Denver area. She's been great. And our buddy Oliver is doing our loan. So I just hit up Oliver and I'm like, yo, what exactly do you need from me? Because this shit is not computing. Like, write it out for me like I'm a fucking sixth grader. What exactly? I'm like that kid that goes up to the teacher's desk once every 5 minutes. It's just, I constantly have questions and I feel like a dipshit. So it's been a taxing like last 10 days when you just don't realize how free your mind is when you don't have like a transaction like this going on in the background.
Yeah, like my taxes are eating me up mentally right now. I haven't even really started them. I've been getting stuff together, but I'm definitely filing extension again because I just every time I think about doing that, I feel like something else comes up from work. And I'm like, I still got time. And I tell myself this every year in February. I'm like, I got March. I'm like, I got a few weeks in April, and now I'm up on it. It's April 2nd, and I'm just absolutely toast. So we'll get that done.
Yeah.
At some point this summer. I'll fucking send it in. We'll knock her out.
I'm in the exact same boat. And luckily Missy does my taxes. She's an accountant. And she just like looks at me and goes, you're going on extension. I'm like, okay, that's great. Like, I just tell me what to do. Tell me where to be, where you want the shit, and it'll be there. Because we're also just like missing documents for other things. And on top of it, we're refinancing one of our investment properties, and that is in my name. So I've been dealing with two loans at once from two different loan officers. Sign this, fuck, like one is enough. And then these other, it's just the red tape. And you know me, I'm not built for that organizational type structure where I need to sign this and save this and keep this in a PDF. I'm like, how the fuck do I edit a PDF? I had to have
that was one of our offline conversations the other day was, hey, how do I edit this PDF? What's going on here? And I was like trying to walk you through it. Pretty hilarious how you are very, you're 30 years old, but you're very 60 plus years old not entirely in technology because you're super online, but also you're a very interesting case overall, I think. Very online,
like,
also don't know how to do very simple computer tasks, also never check your email. Like, you're fucking something, dude.
yeah. Well, like you said, for as online as I am, I know like the most kind of similar to life. Like, I know so much shit, but it's all useless. Like, I know my way around a phone just about as good as anybody, but when it comes to like Adobe, I don't even know what Adobe is, like what it does. I think it's for where PDFs go to live and you can edit them. And I don't have Adobe. But there's just these applications where I'm like, not a clue. Even Oliver was, I was screen sharing my stuff for one of my bank statements or whatever. And he was watching me try to navigate on my Mac. And he's like, you can do it. You got it. I was like, where's this button? Where he's like, I'm just sitting back watching you fucking search all over your screen, just cracking up. I was like, God damn it. Like
It's like me with my fucking 1-year-old when I'm trying to let him do his own, like put his own puzzle together. I'm like, you got this. And he gets like frustrated. And I'm like, no, don't give up.
you just
You
kind
got
of
it.
like stay there, and you're like, I think he's gonna do it, but I'm here in case he needs me. And Oliver's like, yeah, can you just like screen print that? I'm like, is that English? What is screen printing something? I thought that was a screenshot. Like, you're talking about saving this document. Where do I save it? What file is it under? Like, it's just me owning a laptop is the most useless fucking thing in the world. Like, thank God you can e-sign shit on your phone now, because I legitimately just want to do everything from my phone. I cannot stand being on a computer.
Yeah, and I'm kind of the opposite. Like, I love to have a lot of shit on my computer because phones I feel like are just fucking janky, and especially trying to do a lot of work stuff, I don't necessarily trust my phone as much as I trust my computer. All right, this is the point where we talk about professional golf or just the golf world in general. We've got Min-Woo Lee winning his first PGA Tour event. The interesting thing about Min-Woo Lee is the fact that he is one of the more famous golfers in terms of being online. And he's just a guy that is known by a lot of people. It's hilarious to me, at least, that you look at him, you see his name, and then he's from Australia. It doesn't quite add up internally. But, you know, Joel Embiid plays for the Team USA, so fuck it. We can just be whatever we want to be. It is 2025. And Min-Woo Lee, very talented. And I want you to get into that a little bit because I was talking to you about it when we were watching the event. It's not like, you know, we have these players that win PGA Tour events, and I keep going back to Peter Malnati. Sorry, dude. Yellow ball, bucket hat. I just can't get that fact out of my mind that that's a PGA Tour winner. But you have guys like that just kind of have a good week. And Min-Woo Lee, even though he hasn't won until this past weekend, is not like that at all. He's like extremely talented and very high level, swings the club fucking out of it, out of his shoes, relatively speaking, but one of the longest drivers on tour and just doesn't fit the profile for what you'd think, you know, a first-time PGA Tour winner would be. And granted, a lot of people thought he was going to win well before this, and he'll probably win multiple times after this. But before you get into Min-Woo, I want to show this little clip of him because I watched this yesterday and this fucking cracked me up. Spencer self-producing here. Here we go.
Oh boy, this
here we go. We're going to add this, and then we're going to play this clip of Min-Woo Lee on the. Oh, come on now.
If you're only listening on the audio version, I apologize in advance.
Yeah, this should be.
But this clip is phenomenal. All the nicknames that he comes up with, I was cracking up watching this clip as well. So maybe if Spencer can find it eventually, and it's not there.
So what do you think of influencer training?
Child's play, really. You know, I'm pretty good at this internet thing. You've probably heard of me.
Here we
Chef,
go. This is
Woozy,
this
Dr.
is
Chapinsky, Spinny Weasley, Lob McIntyre, Jacuzzi Woozy, Woo Woo Lemon, Big Pertha, Min Diesel.
Stop.
Woo Jackman.
Enough.
Woo Fast, Woo Furious.
No.
Mindiana Jones and the Temple of Woo.
I want a Min-Woo leave.
Shit is hilarious. Like, Mindiana Jones and the Temple of Woo. Is that what it was?
When he just goes off on that part of it.
And
I think that's the lady from St. Andre Golf. They're pretty good content creators. I feel like we're kind of in that same bubble as them. Obviously, haven't had reels fucking pop off like that like they have, but that's kind of our same voyage of being on the course or checking in at the pro shop and having that interaction kind of just go wrong or go right. I think that's kind of our lane there, that they're just taking over with their fucking semi truck, but it is what it is. Let's talk about Min-Woo Lee and just his golf swing. And cool for, you know, you sent me this morning as well. I guess I'll just say this before I'll cut you off again before I let you talk about Min-Woo, but you're
like fucking Bill
ratings.
Simmons.
The ratings showed too.
you're like, let me ask you about this. But before I get to that, let me say 4 different things about this.
Yes. Okay. Last thing, and then floor is all yours. Minwoo Lee effect. NBC draws 2.676 million viewers for the final round of the Houston Open, and that doesn't include streaming. That's up 44% from last year. So he is, we're talking about all these YouTubers and being good for golf and Bryson DeChambeau. Minwoo Lee's kind of in that same realm, just doesn't have the on-course like background and on-course winnings in order to be this guy. So this is kind of building to that. Accomplishments. There we go. I seem to forget the English language doing a podcast, which is great. So now it's all yours. I'm going to fucking shut my mic off.
No, I mean, you kind of hit the nail on the head. The win was phenomenal, but I would almost equate it, like you said, the Peter Malnati, and it's just recent in my mind. This comparison, I would say Peter Malnati winning on the PGA Tour is like Russell Westbrook shooting a 3-pointer. Like it might happen occasionally, but in general, you don't think it's going to end well. Like 9 times out of 10, you think it's going to be a pretty fucking poor result, versus you look at a guy like Minwoo Lee is like Nikola Jokic shooting a 3-pointer. Generally speaking, even if it doesn't go in, you feel good about it. Like, even if Minwoo doesn't win, it still feels like he's on that upward trajectory, where a guy like Peter Malnati is what he is. And if he does throw out a win every 3 to 5 years, then that's fucking great for him. But Minwoo definitely feels like he kind of, I would almost equate this a little bit to the Wyndham Clark win at the, was it the Wyndham Championship? No, it was the, what was it at, what was his first PGA
the Wells
Tour
Fargo?
Yeah, there we go. Yes. The Wells Fargo. It feels like kind of his introduction to winning. And I was talking to Zach, one of our listeners and one of our buddies that's played in these golf tournaments. I was talking to him on Twitter, and he was like, well, he might not know how to win on this big stage. And I'm like, well, he's won 3 times on the DP World Tour. So that is essentially, it's not quite the PGA Tour, but the Houston Open is also not, fucking Augusta or Torrey Pines. Like, this is not a very high level event. So I would almost equate that event to like a DP World Tour event, because he's won the Australian PGA, which is one of the DP World Tour's bigger events. Like, it is a big event in Australia. And granted, that's in his home country. So, but I don't think it was just the fact of him not winning. It wasn't like an if he's going to win. It's more of a when is he going to win type of thing. So for him to just get that first one out of the way on the PGA Tour, I think can springboard him, because he's got the entire game. Like, you watch a guy like that and you just wonder what goes wrong where he hasn't won. And then you see, like some of the mental errors that it looks like he made, where he drove that ball in the water on 16. And by the way, let's just mention this. Down the stretch, that was one of the more fun PGA Tour events I've watched this season. Like, Gary Woodland charged hard and was in the mix. That shot he hit on 18 to get it to 19 under was insane. He had 7-iron from like almost 200 yards, hits the hard club twirl, and I'm like, oh, he fucking loves it. He hit it's like a foot, taps in to get to 19 under. Scottie Scheffler's right there, can't close the door once again. But Minwoo like really held it together down the stretch. And I will say that the course did catch some shit, because it was similar to the Mexico Open, where you could kind of drive it anywhere, relatively speaking. The fairways were very forgiving. There really wasn't much rough. So definitely kind of suited Minwoo's game, because he can drive it a little erratically, considering he gets that ball speed north of 190 pretty often. And I actually saw somebody tweet, like, how did Minwoo Lee not play in Mexico? Like, I think they're very similar golf courses, where going forward, guys like him, the long bombers that occasionally get it going a little crooked, still feel like they can get it around and post a score at those types of courses. So, yeah, I feel like Minwoo is definitely on the upward trajectory, and he's got like all the tools in the bag. It's the putter, it's the wedges, it's the irons, the driver. I just named all the clubs in the bag, but the tee shot is really what like separates him. If he's hitting it well off the tee and his ball speed is regularly in the low to mid 190s, like that has got a leg up on just about everybody on tour, besides Aldrich Potgieter, the fucking thick South African. So yeah, I was very happy for him. You could tell on 18 how much emotion he had when he lagged it up there from the back of the green, just on the fringe, lagged it up to like 6 inches. You could tell how fucking pumped he was. And then he goes and does aim point on the 6-incher. Like, he is truly a showman. He's that Bryson type of showman where he's always thinking of being entertaining. Like, it's almost WWE style where he wants to be like this character. And you know, the whole Chef Minwoo, Chef Minwoo, whatever, let him cook, that whole thing, Dr. Chapinski, all that shit is fucking hilarious. But for him to have the presence of mind when he's tapping in to win his first PGA Tour event to go over and fucking aim point it, was absolutely hilarious. And that's just the kind of dude Minwoo is. I think he's a fucking showman.
Yeah, and those guys are great for golf. I'm sure the PGA Tour was thoroughly pleased. Like, yes, Scottie could have won in Texas again, or Gary Woodland would have been a great story. But for being the Texas Children's Houston Open, overall, like you mentioned, an electric finish with some big names up there. And, you know, you were kind of alluding to that this is more of like a DP World Tour event. And not that you're not right there, but this was, the field here was pretty good. Now, not everybody played like up to their level of general, like Rory was up there, but not up there. Scottie obviously had a rough Saturday and kind of took himself out of it, which we're starting to see more and more. It's shocking still every time you see him kind of falter, and then Sunday he comes out and charges. But Minwoo winning that event, I think, gives him a ton of confidence. And a lot of people, the streets are saying that that was the most likely tune-up for Augusta. Like, the courses fit the same mold. I mean, nothing fits Augusta National on tour, but it was a really good foreshadowing for players that will play well at Augusta. And you saw, you know, Gary Woodland's been up there at the Masters before. Scottie's won it multiple times. So seeing that and seeing Minwoo play well there, and just with his ridiculous ball speed, I mean, even like they show tour average and then his average, and I saw on 15 he then juiced it up another 2 or 3 miles. I mean, he's sniffing 200 ball speed and great around the greens. So it is honestly shocking. Maybe it's a mental thing that he hasn't won more on tour, but overall, just a good win for him and a good win for, I think, the game of golf in general. And then the ratings show that too.
Yeah, I would definitely, I don't think it's too far-fetched for me to say that I think Minwoo is going to compete at Augusta at some point in his career and possibly win a green jacket, just because of all the different shots he has in the bag. Being able to take advantage of the par fives. If he's driving it straight, Bryson famously said that it's a par 67 or whatever, and he definitely got humbled that week. But I think Minwoo is the similar kind of guy off the tee where he could turn Augusta into a bit of a pitch and putt. Now, the greens are a whole different story. You got to know them well. You rarely see a first-time winner at Augusta, or not even a first-time winner, but a guy that hasn't played there, you know, multiple times and gotten in a lot of work on the greens. But like you said, that course is relatively similar to Augusta, much softer, I would assume, than Augusta is going to be. But I wouldn't be shocked to see Minwoo compete this time next week in the Masters. Like, I could definitely see him, and it's obviously some sort of recency bias with him just winning, coming off his first win. But there's really no reason, as long as he feels good about his game, all his tools are tailor-made to play well at Augusta. So
Yeah, let's flip same tournament, but I want you to have the floor and talk about Alejandro Tosti a little bit, because you're a little more dialed in on this. The one thing I do have is just a Golf Digest Instagram post here. And Bones Mackay on the broadcast, who longtime caddy, really well known and well respected in the professional golf world, said, "I don't know what's going on, but Tosti is playing at his own pace. At times it's normal, at times it's glacially slow. But he's decided on this particular hole to really take his time, and he's holding up play in this last group." And then Tosti responds, Bones talking shit for the fans, saying I'm walking 50 yards behind and trying to slow playing my partner. That's not I'm reading that correctly. This is not a reading issue. This is exactly how it is. And trying to slow playing my partner. The part you don't see is that I used the restroom and prepared myself a drink. Alcoholic, maybe, but go off on Tosti real quick, because I feel like a lot of people had you tweeted about it on our X account, and I feel like a lot of people had some opinions, but I don't think Min was the fastest player either, unfortunately.
Yeah, I definitely think, especially on the greens, Minwoo is taking a bit of time, and it just blows my mind. Like, a guy like Tosti, being as high level of a player as he is, lets other guys in his group affect his pace of play like this. But my biggest problem with Tosti is everybody's a hypocrite when it comes to this shit, because Minwoo had to call over a rules official for that taking a drop, and he wanted to make sure he did it right. They ended up playing the hole in 30 minutes. Sure, that fucking sucks. But then multiple times throughout the round, Tosti is going over to rules officials saying shit, probably talking about Minwoo, but then he's asking for rulings himself, asking for drops. Like, there comes a time in every round of golf where somebody needs help and somebody's going to be a little slow. And so whenever you call somebody else out for it, you have to be the first guy that's the fastest guy in the group, never playing slow, because then you're just throwing stones from a glass house. And that's what bugged me with Tosti, is there was multiple times where he was the slow one, and maybe who knows if he was doing that intentionally or not, like you said. But he felt like the slow one, and then he was just blaming it on Minwoo and then trying to fuck with Minwoo. Like, and the other thing was Tosti was out of contention at that point. Tosti was like 11, 12 under par, even though they were in the final group. He was going in the other direction, so that probably didn't help his attitude either. But now Minwoo's trying to get his first PGA Tour win, and this dude's over here fucking with him. And I heard Bones say that it's kind of the caddy's job almost to go over to them and be like, yo, whatever the fuck you're doing, like, stop. Because we don't need this issue right now. We've got bigger fish to fry than worrying about our playing partner bitching at the rules official. And that's the thing. Like, the PGA Tour has never set a precedent on slow play, besides that one, like, Asian Pacific amateur winner from fucking like a dozen years ago that they gave a penalty to at Augusta, completely out of left field. Like, everybody else is just that fucking slow. But other than that, they have not set a precedent for slow play whatsoever when it comes to rules officials, rulings, drops on the green, blah, blah, blah. You name it. They've had a million opportunities. So what makes you think they're going to start now with the final group of one of the most well-liked dudes on tour that's trying to get his first win? Like, Tosti's just barking up the fucking wrong tree. He's not even barking up a tree in general. Like, he was probably just pissed about his round. But the funny thing is like, this isn't Tosti's first time doing this shit. He actually got suspended from the Corn Ferry Tour. What was it? 2023, for absolutely going off on Kyle Westmoreland, one of his playing partners, when they were playing up in Boise. I guess he hit his tee shot like in the shit, and he was taking a while to take a drop and hit the next shot. And Tosti just like boiled over and fucking blew up on him. And they kicked him off the course, basically. Like, and that takes a lot to have somebody kicked off the course for just saying shit to a playing partner. Like, you got to say some pretty egregious shit, I would feel like. And the crazy part too is Tosti shot 67 fucking Thursday. Like, he was in contention this week. I'm sorry, not this week, but like that week that he got kicked out of the Boise Open, he was in contention, and he just simply can't help himself but fucking pop off when he sees somebody playing slow golf. Like, bottom line for me is, your playing partners are not the fucking pace of play police. Does it suck playing with slow players? Absolutely. And if you're playing shitty and the last place you want to be is on that golf course, then I 100% get it. But you don't need to fucking try to ruin somebody else's. And like, maybe this guy is just so diabolical, like evil genius, that he was like, well, I'm fucking not in contention, so I'm just going to try to fuck with Minwoo and try to, and in all honesty, they didn't even wait very often on, or I'm sorry, they didn't really fall behind. Like, they didn't end up that far behind Scottie and who else was in the final group? I forget. But they were pretty much up with them the entire time. The pace of play was like not egregiously slow. So it was just one of those where, and Bones, it was interesting because I could hear it in Bones' voice that he was like actively, without saying it, basically saying that Tosti's being a giant dickhead right now. And you could almost tell like Bones was definitely siding with Minwoo. But then when Tosti missed like an 8-footer for birdie, like a few holes after the altercation, Bones just goes, "Oh, that's too bad." And you're like, holy shit, this guy is just like an on-course reporter, supposed to just kind of be, he's got some room to have opinion, but more of just like giving you the lay of the land, what's going on, how this guy's lie is, all this. And he's like almost actively rooting against Tosti in that moment. So I actually kind of loved that from Bones. But also, if you're Tosti, and there's actually a big area of the internet that was like, I fucking love Tosti. It's on the players to police the other players' pace of play. Like, good for him. We need more guys like this. And it's like, I just don't think this is the spot. And especially when you're a dude, this is like Draymond Green punching somebody else in the face. If you've already been suspended for this and it's already on people's radar, then you're going to fucking have a shorter leash. You know, you can't just pop off and call a rules official over and act like you're fucking Tiger Woods circa 2000. Like, this rules official needs to just jump at whatever you say. So I was not in agreement with it by any means. I probably overreacted a little bit in time, and it's always the three sides to a story type thing. But yeah, like Tosti just flat out, it was the wrong time to do it. He's in the final pairing. Just focus on trying to fucking shoot a score and make a paycheck instead of worrying about your playing partner's pace of play.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Let's switch gears here to what we talked about in the intro, golf tattoos. We've got this great photo here from Zyre Golf. You sent me this over. If you guys are not watching on the YouTube, make sure to always check us out. We always go live on YouTube for our podcasts. 10 a.m. Mountain Time, 12 p.m. Eastern Time on Wednesdays is our pretty standard. We'll have some shows this week for the Masters and do some extra stuff. But this is a Scottie Cameron down his calf. For those of you listening, he's got the Cameron, you know, the dancing Cameron logo down his calf, and pretty egregious golf tattoo. And there's people that are just out there and love, you know, are addicted to golf and addicted to fucking Scottie Cameron and brands like that. But I want to get your thoughts on if you'd ever get a golf tattoo, because I think I would, and I'll get into it after you.
You know, that is honestly kind of a good question. Like, maybe I would get a tattoo of like the hole that I have 2 hole-in-ones on at Colorado Golf Club. Like, the paintbrush is a pretty cool logo. But in all honesty, I was thinking if I were to get anything, because my brand loyalty as I've gotten older has kind of gone away. Like, I'm kind of the mindset, if I like the piece of equipment, I'm just going to game it. Like, I really don't give a shit what brand it is. But one thing that's been super consistent for me throughout my bag for the last better part of 15 years is I really haven't played anything but an Odyssey putter. I've always been pretty Odyssey, like, and not necessarily even the fact that it's an Odyssey. It's just, I like the way a lot of their putters look. I like the black on the white. I like the way they weight them. I like the grips. Just kind of everything. Like, I've never really wanted to go away from Odyssey because I just, at my core, I think paying $450, even when I was getting free equipment, I still think that paying $450 to $600 for a fucking putter is just ridiculous when I could putt with a old Bullseye fucking putter and still feel like I can do relatively well with it. So Odyssey's just like always been my brand, and it has a pretty cool logo. It's kind of that whispering eye type. Shout out David Jansen, the whispering eye on the forearm. It doesn't even necessarily look completely like a golf logo, but it does. Like, I don't really know how to put it, but I could just get that. It's that swirl. Like, what is that optical illusion when it's like swirling and you feel like you're going down a tunnel? And it gets deeper and deeper. Am I just losing you here? Do you know what that's called?
I think it's just called a swirl. I don't think there's any terms to that, definitions of that. I think it's just straight up swirl.
Okay, yeah, but it's a swirl, and if you rotate it, it looks like you're in like some sort of tunnel, like going down deeper and deeper, but you're really not. So that might
Spiral,
be
maybe.
Okay, yeah, maybe spiral. That's not a bad way to word it, but that would be my golf tattoo. Either that or maybe the Colorado Golf Club logo, because that's cool, like paintbrush. I can maybe get that. Like, I feel like so many chicks are getting like little tattoos behind their ears. Like, what if I got a little paintbrush right behind my ear?
I think I would fucking take you so unserious for the rest of your life that I don't think I could handle it. But along those same lines, I think I would do the same. At this point, I feel like I'm too good of a golfer and played too much golf to not have a hole in one at any point, just lucky bullshit shot. So I think the first time I get a hole in one, I'm considering fucking tattooing the course, the hole, the yardage, maybe just something funny and the date.
Get
like,
the witness.
That's one of the other
tattoos
tattoos
underneath it.
Have the witness's signature, sign it, and then tattoo it on me.
The
But yeah,
club.
that's one of the other tattoos that's kind of circulated around the world and the golf world. Is this one guy has a hole in one on his arm, and like an older guy, and then has all the years that he gets one fucking below it. I mean, I just want one. That's all I want. Just one. Just give me that day. Every time I step up to a par 3, it's like slightly in the back of my head that this day could change my fucking life. Like, especially the rounds where I'm only playing 9 holes. I'm like, I'm definitely playing 18 if this happens, and I'm definitely fucking drinking in the bar after. All my plans canceled for the rest of the day. So really waiting on that first elusive hole in one. Feel like I should have one by now, but I don't. So that'll be my golf tattoo. Last thing we got to get to before.
Real quick, this is where you're wrong. Is you think that the golf world owes you something, like you've played enough golf to where you just deserve a hole in one, and nothing is deserved in golf. There's no fucking handouts over here, Chief. So you got to earn that shit. You got to
I'll push back.
Put your 10-minute range sessions together and fucking try to get your iron game, step that iron game up a little bit. Because you're not just, I mean, eventually if you play enough, but you don't even play that much golf either. So the more golf you play, your probability goes up. So maybe just convince your wife that's how you're going to play more golf, is just saying you're on a quest for a hole in one, and your probability significantly goes up every time you play another hole.
Yeah, I mean, I will push back a little bit. I don't think I deserve a hole in one, but I just think the amount of golf that I've played, and considering the fact that I know hole in ones are a lot of luck, we've saw it year in and year out with the people that came through the golf course and would be partying on the turn because they made a hole in one on the front, and you're like, how the fuck did you do that? But overall, I just feel like the combination of hitting enough good golf shots that I've hit and playing the amount of golf I've played compared to the average human being, I should have an N ace at this point. Getting on to our last topic, I'm going to drop this up on the screen here for those of you on the YouTube. Once again, check us out on YouTube, Big Drive Energy Golf. We do all our shows live. You can rewatch us, see my shitty internet connection today, my fucking great producing skills. But this bad boy right here coming up, I'm going to wait for it to show up because what is this? What the fuck is this? This is an early entrant into What the Fuck Wednesday, but I honestly, I have no clue what's going on with this thing.
Do you want to hear what's even better?
The driver, I mean, not the production value. I see it up there.
Do you want to hear the best part? Do you know what it's retailing
I'm all ears.
at?
In fact, you're the only person on this planet I'm talking to right now that I'm actually listening to actively. So get after it.
Do you know what this club is retailing at?
Oh, fuck. Well, it's L.A.B, so I'd guess, let's say $650.
$1,200 for this puppy. They're charging you $1,200 to look like you have a hammer. If you don't remember the old school golf course or Golf Channel infomercials, I think the hammer was actually center shafted, if I remember correctly, because the club face doesn't rotate near as much. It's like an anti-rotation thing, and that's its whole, I think, theory behind it is it's low torquing. I think torque is now just another buzzword in the game of golf that everybody's creaming their jeans over. They just can't fucking get over the word torque. But it basically has to do with like rate of closure, where the idea is the club face stays square longer. So you're not having to rotate the club face near as much, which in theory would make you hit it straighter. But that is just the ugliest fucking club I've ever seen in my life. It looks like one of those chippers, like an old school chipper. And I really just don't even know how you'd hit it well. Like it just sets up so fucking weird. I feel like I would hit 6 inches behind it.
To me, it feels like it's for the people that constantly fucking hit it off the hosel, and they can just feel like they're swinging the club and the end of the hosel straight down at the golf ball. So I do guess I get a little bit of the technology behind it, where if you think about it, it's kind of almost like a pool stick or whatever, where you're hitting it with the actual end of the club versus the end of the shaft that you're holding is then down, and then the club is another 2 to 3 inches to the right of it. But to me, while the concept may take off, may not. I mean, it's L.A.B, so you never know what their putters are off flying off the shelves. So you never know who's going to have this. But I think to me, it like constructs a whole new golf swing with your driver that then you have to then recreate a different swing with your irons and have it be a totally different feel from club to club. Now, if you start hitting your driver straighter and that's your one bugaboo, but I feel like that could trickle down if you're a decent iron player and you just can't hit your driver anywhere, not on the map, kind of in my light of the game where I'm at. But if you're hitting this driver good, then you look at an iron, you're like, fuck, when can I get the center shafted 7 iron?
Yeah, eventually everything is going to be center shafted, and I don't think I'm ready to look at any golf club that it kind of defeats the purpose of like rotation in general. Like hypothetically, you could just pick that bitch straight up and then basically just like borderline croquet shot that shit and just go kind of straight back to straight through. Like that's not how a golf swing is built to be around your body. Like that's they're just trying to foolproof golf basically. But for anybody that plays the game at somewhat of any sort of level, I don't think that they're going to be participating in this fucking driver thing. And if you do buy this driver, you're outing yourself as the biggest square in the golf community. Like you legitimately can't show up and be like proud of that driver in your bag. Like I'm just dead ass. Cause one, you just got completely fucking taken for $1,200. And two, that thing is an ugly dog turd.
Yeah, I just can't even fathom hitting something like that. I did see a funny tweet that said this week on the driver realm and kind of talking about the hammer driver that was built way back in the day on the infomercials. The torpedo bat thing, somebody tweeted, this is the original torpedo bat, and it was the Nike Sumo driver. That was a great tweet.
You did cut out for a little bit on that one, but yes,
this fucking internet connection is this internet is not a great connection.
Yeah, it's the internet connection's less than ideal, but yes, it is kind of the OG Sumo. Like I did have a Sumo back in the day, and then I upgraded to the Dymo. Those were the good old days. I think I was a freshman, and I remember going and getting that Sumo, and I thought it was the coolest looking. And I remember the shaft, and it was just like a wet noodle. Like that thing was just bouncing all over the place. It was so whippy. But yeah, maybe high schoolers, maybe some rich parents will buy their shitty high school kids these drivers and just hope they make them better. But I really don't understand what this demographic is for. Like I really actually want to look into this because I'm curious like who they're trying to cater this to. Like the brand new golfer, like what is it supposed to do for you? because the putter we've kind of gotten a rundown on, but the driver, I guess it'd be the same idea, but it's just like, I don't think that this is going to revolutionize golf. Like people, this is what I found out is people would literally buy anything if it meant they didn't have to work on their game and they somehow got better from it. Like that is the end of the story. These golf companies just put out these new fucking products that are just some snake oil bullshit. But everyone's like, oh, that's going to change my game. A new driver is going to change my game. A new wedge is going to change my game. A new putter. Like the buddy I was playing with the other day, he was missing putts left and right. He's like, oh, it's time for a new putter. I'm like, it could be the archer and not the arrow, right? Like it's not necessarily the putter's fault. So that shit just cracks me up when people are constantly looking for that next new thing. It's like the new diet fad, whatever can get to me the quickest. And it's like Ozempic for golf, basically. They're like, this will make you better instantly. You don't have to do anything.
This will fucking help you out. One thing real quick want to get to before we get to What the Fuck Wednesday and Mulligan Monday, which will be Mulligan of the Week this week. Real quick, just to get these out in the universe, here are our picks for the Valero Texas Open. I am going with Denny McCarthy to win. He was lost in a playoff here last year. I did hit a winner in the Valero Texas Open last year, looking to go back-to-back. No big deal. And then I have Ricky Fowler in the top 10. I believe he needs like a T3 in order to get to the Masters or even a win. So I think Rickster is going to come out this week. And I took our long shot for us, Sam Ryder. He's actually top 3 here 2 years ago and at plus 17,000 to win the bitch. So I'm going to take that, or plus 10,000, excuse me. Sam Ryder. And then you've got Sam Stevens. So a lot of Sams on this card, big sandwich. And Andrew Novak to top 10 at plus 500. Sam Stevens is plus 5,000 to win. Just wanted to get those out there into the universe. We will post them on our socials. Make sure you're following us on all those. And now comes our time for What the Fuck Wednesday and Mulligan of the Week. We'll just parlay them back to back. My What the Fuck Wednesday is just a pretty simple overall thing that just keeps happening to me. My son just keeps kicking me in the nuts, and it fucking sent me to the ground on Saturday. And it's not like he's getting a little violent. I will admit that. Like we got him this dino punching bag that returns to him. So hopefully he starts taking his aggression out on that instead of me. But it's not intentional. I'll be like picking him up and he just kicks his feet, and just 2 times has got me right in the ball. And on Saturday, we were moving our bedroom around and I collapsed. I went straight to the ground. And this is Sunday morning, we're at the Hangar Club hitting some golf balls, and he fucking hits me in the nose with his fucking club, like his little Charlie Golf Club. Shout out Charlie Golf Co. Hits me in the fucking nose. I literally fall back. I'm like, maybe I broke my nose. Then he hits me in the nuts later. So my What the Fuck Wednesday is he's taking his toll on me as a little 30-pound whirling dervish that just cannot be controlled by 2 human adults.
Well, to be fair, your nose is a pretty big target. So you probably could have been like back behind the bay.
That is.
Like in the seating area, and he clipped your schnoz with that thing. So not all on him. Let's just put it that way. Was that your Mulligan Monday or your What the Fuck Wednesday? Or that was your What the Fuck Wednesday, correct?
That was my. Yeah, exactly. And then I'll just do my Mulligan Monday as well and parlay it back to back. Mulligan Monday on, I believe this was Sunday as well. Not a great day for me overall. I was going to we have our kitchen blocked off so that our kid can't get into the kitchen and the living room. Sometimes just close the gate. And I was going to throw a fork into the sink because I was trying to clean up the house. I can't stand the forks and shit in the living room. I go to throw it, and I'm trying to miss the flowers that are on the counter, so I kind of yeet it a little higher, and I fucking hit our light, and it shattered the fucking glass on our light of our kitchen. It didn't shatter it, but it cracked the fuck out of it. So now it's like hanging on by a literal thread, and every day I wake up and I'm like, is that going to fall down? Is that going to fall down? So gonna need to do some ordering, go find something at fucking Home Depot or something. But yeah, I just fucking pull hooked it. I skied it a little bit, and I fucking right into the light.
Yeah, and when you go higher with it, I feel like you almost throw it harder for some reason. Like you're trying to like lob it in there, and you end up going full Kenyon Martin, just fucking throwing a laser beam. So I've been there. I know what you're talking about. So my what the fuck Wednesday is we have a lot of one-way streets in Morristown, in the town that we are here in New Jersey. We live in here in New Jersey, and we've got like multiple people this last week just flat out going the wrong way on a one-way. Like, don't know if they know it or not, but they're just driving in the complete fucking opposite direction. And we're like, do you not see? And it was funny because one time Missy was calling me on her way home from work, and we're like mid conversation. She's like, holy shit. She's like, this dude's just flying fucking down a one way going the wrong way. I'm like, oh fuck, did somebody hit him? Like, it's kind of one of those you like want to have a video of. You just want to watch it. So you gotta, but I've never gone the wrong way down a one way, but I know you have. And I know you've also been a victim of somebody going the wrong way down a one way, and your buddy got his car hit. So it is sketchy. Like when you're in a city and you don't know the roads, and you miss the one-way sign, and all of a sudden you're fucking staring down the barrel of just a bunch of traffic, and you realize that you shouldn't be there. It's not less than ideal circumstance.
Yeah, I've done it multiple times. I'm not proud of it, but my new rule to kind of combat this, which I think since I put this rule into place, I haven't fucked up, is every street I turn down that feels like it could be a one-way, I look for a car parked on the side of the road going the direction that I'm going. If there's not a car there, I don't even care if I'm late, I'm missing that turn and making sure that I'm not turning the wrong way down a one-way. So I've been on a pretty good heater of not doing that. But that's my new key is like, hey, car's parked that way. I'm going that way. We're fucking golden. Send it.
I do the exact same shit whenever I'm in like a foreign area. I'm always like looking for cars to make sure they're parked both ways. So I'm not just taking the fucking scenic route down the wrong road. And then my mulligans of the week, kind of a twofer. I stubbed the fuck out of my toe on we usually eat dinner in front of the TV. It's not a good practice, but it's just something we do. We watch TV shows and we eat on our little tray tables. And I just fucking hoofed this tray table right with my pinky toe. And the way I fell because it took me down and my face went right into the crack of the couch. And I just fucking was screaming and like whimpering. And Missy was just getting a good old kick out of it. I'm like, no, it fucking fucked up my small toe. And then your like toenails kind of hang. It's not all the way off. It's not like I'm not losing it, but it definitely got a good chunk of my toenail. There's literally no worse pain other than the fact that I also bit my cheek on Saturday when I was eating a bagel, and I just fucking smoked the shit out of it. And I could hardly like eat for 2 days because of it. And it's because Missy fucking scared me. I was sitting in the car eating it. I was waiting for her to get done somewhere. I'm just sitting here eating my bagel, and she comes up in the fucking window, and I'm like, oh fuck. And then I bit the shit out of my cheek in the process. So just self-harm. That I would say biting your cheek and stubbing your toe are two of the top 5 worst pains. Like obviously next to like beside non-serious pain that you could have. Oh, did we lose you again there? Or
Yeah,
what, Spencer?
100%. You got to tell her next time she scares you, just say, hey, I don't fucking do jokes.
Yeah, I don't fucking do jokes.
Am I back? Am I dead?
You're frozen and
this is a disaster, this fucking internet connection.
Yeah, this is your mulligan of the week. Just not, you need a fucking full-blown Ethernet cord at this point.
Yeah, I got to figure something out. Well, we're going to wrap this fucking show up. One of us, once again, if you guys haven't heard in the past couple of months, we are part of the Golfer Gang Network now. One of us will be on their roundtable for the Masters Sunday night, so make sure to check that out. That will also go on our audio feed after it's all recorded. We'll have some podcasts for you and some live shows next week as we get prepared for the first major of 2025, the Masters. We get to re-download that app. Looking forward to it. We still have one more week, though. Vallero's Texas Open should be a fun one. Hopefully, we got some winners out there for you. Everybody, enjoy your weekend. Get prepped up. Get your golf schedule on. Watch some golf because next weekend we're going to be immersed in it. We got the schedule for the Masters. Shitload of live coverage. So get ready for that. We'll have a couple shows for you. In the meantime, enjoy your weekend. Enjoy the Valero Texas Open, and we will talk to you next week. Peace.